giant robots. You dig them, I dig them, we dig them, chicks dig them. And it is from the realm of magical giant robots that we come to Heavy Gear Blitz. And for those of you who've been watching me for a long time, you'll know I used that same joke in my old review of Heavy Gear Blitz way back in the day on my old YouTube channel, but I don't care because I have no shame! Now, jokes aside, Heavy Gear Blitz is an awesome game, and my joke is actually a bit of a misnomer because the robots in this aren't really giant, but whatever, take the joke, man. So yes, this is the new edition of Heavy Gear Blitz. This is made by a Canadian company, DreamPod 9, and it is phenomenal. Now, I really liked the old Heavy Gear Blitz. I thought it was a cool game, but man, the changes they have made to this new edition blow it out of the water. I mean, this is just overall improvement, with one exception, which I will get to later. So yeah, this is the Heavy Gear Blitz Quick Start Rulebook that you get in the new plastic starter sets, which would explain why it's a wee bit thin for a rulebook. The normal rulebook is all digital. It's available completely for free from DreamPod 9's website, and it is what they are calling a living rulebook, which means that instead of issuing a new edition of the rules every couple of years to fix things, or having to reprint army books or what have you to fix things and include errata and FAQ, they're just gonna update the PDF and go, hey guys, we updated it, here you go. And quite frankly, I think that is brilliant. It is absolutely perfect for this day and age, because it means A, we're not gonna have to spend hundreds of dollars on books, and B, it means we're not gonna have to replace hundreds of dollars of books every couple of years when the rule system gets updated. It means we can just re-download it, pop it onto our phone, onto our Kindle, whatever, and we're good to go. But for those of you like me who do want some kind of print version of the rules, there you go. You can buy this separate. It also comes with the starter sets, as I said. So Heavy Gear Blitz takes place in the far distant future, mostly focused around the colony world of Terra Nova, where Earth came, they colonized it, the Terra Novans kind of grew up, made their own planet. Earth left, abandoning all of its colonies, including Terra Nova, and then came back, and the Terra Novans had basically gone on without them and created their own governmental systems, and they fought off the Earth, and it kind of sparked this revolution throughout the galaxy of, hey, we can fight back. So now you have this big kind of intergalactic war going on with all these different factions from all these different planets, all these different colonies, and it's really cool. I love the setting of the game. I think it is really awesome, and I really hope that in the future we get to see some Heavy Gear Blitz novels. Speaking of which, DreamPod 9, if you're looking for somebody to write Heavy Gear novels, call me. So, let's talk about the rules. The rules for the new edition of Blitz are awesome. They are some of the smartest rules I've read in a long time, and that's saying something because I've read a lot of rule books. Now, as I said, I actually quite liked the old edition of Heavy Gear Blitz, but man, the improvements are just top-notch. First and foremost is the combat system. It is infinitely better now than it was. Basically, the new combat system is you roll your dice pool, your opponent rolls their dice pool. You compare the margin between the two. If the attacker has a higher margin, you take that plus the weapon's penetration rating minus the defender's armor. That's how much damage you do. The old edition involved multiplication and all this unnecessary math, and I think this is so much smoother. And I like the dice pool system. I like that every single model has a base dice pool of 2, and then based on range and weapon and posture and terrain and cover and all that, you add or subtract dice from that pool instead of adding or subtracting from the actual roll of the die. I think it's so much better, it's so much smoother, and quite frankly, I just love it. I'm probably not doing it quite as much justice as I think I am, but it really is good, trust me. I also really like the new army building rules in this. Instead of having a squad that you then make modifications to, they basically just said, look, here's a model, here's its stats, here's what squads you can run it in, figure it out yourself. And I actually kind of like that. It's a very cool free-form army building. Now, as for the one thing I don't like about the new army building, it's that they took out the priority level thing. And really, the priority levels were such a cool concept. Now, for those of you who don't know, priority levels in the old version of Heavy Gear Blitz were basically a army building standard. So they added some fluff. So priority level 1 was like a garrison force. Priority level 2 was like a scouting force. 3 was a combat force. 4 was an assault force. And based on the priority level, it told you how you could compose your army. said, you can take this many core units, this many veteran units, this many blah, 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 blah. It was really cool. I can understand now with the way army building is done, why they took it out, but it was such a neat, sort of fluffy way to build an army in the game, and I really kind of hope they introduce that again at some point. I would also love for them to introduce a campaign. They did have it in the old book. It wasn't great by any means, but I would love to see a campaign system pop up for the new version of Blitz. And overall, the rules are just so much more streamlined and slick, and they make the game just an absolute blast. Gameplay feels faster, it feels smoother, it feels more action-packed, and that's what Heavy Gear needed. That and going to plastics, which DreamPod 9 has now done. There are 4 plastic starter sets available. And the plastic starter sets are a really good deal, and they have brought down the prices on some of their other blisters and box sets, which is nice because one of the biggest barriers to entry in the old Heavy Gear was that a squad of 5 guys was all metal miniatures and was $50. But now for $60, you can get a starter set of plastic miniatures that has anywhere from like 12 to 14 models, and it gets you everything you need to start playing the game. It comes with multiple squads, it comes with the starter book, it comes with, I believe they come with dice and a tape measure. Now, there are a couple of things in here that are a little tricky. There are some things that I feel like we had to search a little harder to find how certain things work, like, oh, what does link mean? Well, instead of being listed in the weapon traits with all the other weapon traits, it's listed on some random page, and it's a little frustrating to have to go finding certain things that way, but again, the living rulebook will allow them to kind of change that in the future. One of the simultaneously awesome and frustrating things about Heavy Gear is electronic warfare. It's a cool concept and adds a lot of fluff to your games, but God, it is a bitch to try and understand it. I mean, it is kind of complex and convoluted, and the way it's written isn't very clear. It's a cool idea, and it lets you do stuff like forward observing and spotting for bombers and artillery, and you can do stuff like jamming enemy communications to rob enemy models of actions and stuff like that. But man, some of it's just a headache to try and read. So hopefully that gets smoothed out a little bit, but like I said, it's a cool feature and it adds a lot of character to the game, but it can be hard to understand. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. Both are completely possible. But overall, I do love Heavy Gear. I think this is a great setting, an excellent game. I love the aesthetics of it. It reminds me, as it should, a lot of the old anime Votoms. And it's just really fun. And quite frankly, there's not enough good mecha-based miniatures games out there. The only other ones I can think of are Battletech, which, while fun, is a bit of a slog to get through sometimes because it's very simulation as opposed to game. It's still great. I love Battletech. It'll always hold a place in my heart, but it's not as fast-paced as some people would like. And then you got what? Robotech, which, while it's not a bad system, is absolutely awful with its release schedule. I mean, I'm still waiting for my second wave of Kickstarter stuff, and quite frankly, that Kickstarter's been done for like 4 years at this point. So Heavy Gear fills a very nice little niche in my collection. It's a solid game, it's a fun game, it's a mecha game, and those were 3 checkboxes that I really needed ticked off in my collection, and this does it beautifully. So yeah, if you're looking for a cool mech-centric war game, I definitely recommend checking out Heavy Gear Blitz. It is a blast. The new edition is great. Like I said, the rules are free. Go check them out, download them, give them a read. So good job, DreamPod 9. I am really now looking forward to next year when we get Peace River in plastic. Is it 2017 yet? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and be sure to keep it here for more Heavy Gear in the future, as I will be hopefully doing some learn to plays and bat reps, and maybe even some unboxings of various Heavy Gear stuff here in the future. I know I keep promising that with every game, and I promise I'm going to try and get better at delivering. Don't forget, you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter by following the links listed down below. And if you guys have any suggestions of things you'd like to see us talk about, be it Heavy Gear or not, let us know in the comments below. We'll be glad to take a look and see what we can do for you. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you later.